Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, what's up?
Love is Blind. The reality show became a hit on Netflix after premiering earlier this year. Over the summer, juniors Samantha Amo and Austin Brown brought the dating series to the University of Maryland with UMD Is Blind, a quarantine-friendly, terp-only spin on the show.
We originally saw there was a smaller account out of UMBC that was doing something similar, but they were more targeting it towards actually finding love. And we kind of wanted to make it a little looser, more of a community builder thing. It got really exciting when we realized that we could connect people while everyone's still in lockdown and quarantine, connect people with other friends at UMD that they wouldn't have necessarily met through class, because we have a wide variety of majors and years and interests in general.
So you have this idea for a show. What's the first step in making it a reality?
I think the first thing we did was start an Instagram page. After that, we got a lot of interest pretty quickly, I would say. I think it was just one of those things that people saw and they were sending it to their friends, group chats or on Instagram or whatever. And then pretty soon after we made the Instagram account, we started taking applications for the first season. After we did that, it kind of just took off.
Yeah, I think the first step in starting is literally just to start. Once you have an idea, it's so fun. The brainstorming process, I think that's why we're able to do it, is because me and Sam both love brainstorming. So we ended up, once we had the idea and started doing small things, it just built on itself and eventually became what it is today.
Can you tell us a little bit about the casting process? Like what you were looking for and how that worked?
One of the big things we were looking for, especially for the first season, we kind of wanted to see why they were coming into it. We had a few questions where it was what are you looking for? Are you looking for a relationship? Are you looking to meet friends? Are you just bored in quarantine? Did your friends force you to? That kind of thing. And then we asked them a little bit about themselves. And I think we were really looking for people that were energetic to a degree and excited about the show. And another big thing was picking a variety of people. Picking people with lots of different interests and personalities, not just trying to make it a straight shot, because that would get boring.
Casting was, for me at least, it was just trying to see who we thought would really benefit from the show a lot. There were just certain groups of people who were oh, this would be really good for them. For example, transfer students, because they were transferring into an online environment, we thought that giving them the opportunity to meet new people would be a really great thing for them. So there's so many different things. It really depended on the person. We kind of just would see somebody and be oh, this is good for them because of this.
Once you've got the show cast, what's the first step in the actual dating process?
Our first night, we have everyone talk to everyone for 5 minutes. It's 5-minute, super quick speed dating rounds. And then from there, we have our contestants narrow their list down to their top 5. And then we just keep going with that. Then the next night, you'll only have 3 rounds or 5 rounds because you pick 5 people. And then after that, it would be 3 rounds and then 2 rounds and the finale. So
once the final matches are put together, what happens next?
Well, okay, so the final matches, they'll go in, we have the finale night. That one, it's a 30-minute date. So as the season progresses, the dates get longer too. Basically, you've both said yes to going to the face reveal or the finale with somebody. You'll enter that 30-minute date. For the first 10 minutes, your camera will still be off, just so we can get some tension building, make it a little bit more fun. And then either me or Sam will send a message to all the breakout rooms and say, okay, cameras on. That's when they turn their cameras on. They finish the date. Once we've posted that final episode, we give everybody a week to go and watch it. And then we bring them back for the reunion episode. So that's where really me and Sam hear all the things that happened in that week where we haven't seen them. There will be some people texting us, spilling tea, stuff like that. But generally, we're pretty blind to what's happening.
Jordan Resnick is a junior at UMD and was part of the second season cast. She made it to the final round, and although she wasn't able to find a relationship out of the show, she did have positive things to say about her experience. What was it like going on so many dates at once?
I had a lot of fun. I was at home in New York, quarantining, not really seeing anyone except for my family and my brother's friends, and they weren't the best conversationalists. So I was just excited to talk to new people.
How did the blind dates compare to dates that you've been on in the past that were face-to-face?
Well, dates on the past that have gone on, there's always the immediate sense of physical attraction, and you just didn't have that on a blind date, and I just didn't know who I was talking to until the very end. It was really interesting getting to know a person that way and just figure out their headspace first, and then figuring out the rest of who they are.
So you're on a date with this guy, and you have no idea what he looks like. What's going through your head?
Oh my god, is he attractive? Is he not? And then after I got past that, it's like, okay, well, how do we get along as people?
So tell us a little bit about the face reveal. Like, how did that work?
We had I think it was half hour for that date. So the first 10 minutes, no cameras on, just talking. And then the producers counted down, 3, 2, 1, reveal. And we just turned our cameras on. And it was cute.
Were you nervous for the face reveal?
I was terrified. I overthink many things, and I was just very anxious about, oh my god, face reveal. So I was just a mess beforehand. And then he just didn't seem like he cared whatsoever.
What would you say to someone who's maybe considering going on the show?
Do it. It's so fun. Well, don't be bland. I guess just know yourself and what you want. If you're going to go talk to someone completely blind and have no idea what to talk about because you yourself don't know how to have a conversation with yourself, it's not worth it. So you're going to waste your time and everyone else's.
Just to end off, do you think Love is Blind?
Absolutely not. People's words obviously are a reflection of their thoughts and their headspace, but you can't get a full sense of that without seeing literally how they present themselves, how they take care of themselves, grooming. Do they wash their hair? Do they brush their teeth? Do they wear clothes that fit them well? What's their sense of style like? Do they dress like they want to, or are they trying to fit in with other people? That kind of thing. And you can't get a gauge of that unless you really see them.
After her time on the show, Jordan doesn't think Love is Blind, but Samantha doesn't agree.
I definitely think Love is Blind. I think looks fade and, personality and what you have in common, what you can laugh about is what you're going to be considering when you're old and can't move. It's really more about compatibility and how you get along. And can you just hang out with that person on your best and worst days and still have fun?
There have been 2 seasons of UMD Is Blind so far. How do you think the 2 seasons compare to each other?
Personally, I think season 1 had a little bit more drama and exciting up and down moments. But I think season 2 towards the end, episodes 3, 4, 5, really picked up too. So I'm torn. I love both of them the same.
I don't think I was expecting them to be so different, but even though they're so different, I can't really compare them. It's completely different groups of people, completely different couples that are forming. It was just very interesting.
So you finished filming season 2. There is 1 more episode to come. What's next for the show?
So we just started our mini-series. We just introduced the topic to our Instagram, and our first episode is going to be LGBTQ+. Austin and I really wanted to continue UMD Is Blind in some way, but obviously with school starting, we couldn't really sacrifice our academics to produce season 3. But for now, we're going to do the mini-series, which we're going to aim to have about 2 episodes a month. And we're going to have a different 10 people on every episode. And we're going to kind of make them themed. So the first one, like I said, LGBTQ+. And then the second one, we're going to do freshmen, which should be fun. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're going with it. And hopefully it'll be fun. We want them to be short, sweet, still getting people to know each other. Maybe necessarily not as much to find a partner or someone to date, but definitely still to build a community at UMD safely.
Yeah, we kind of want to introduce people with similar interests that fall into similar groups to be able to meet each other, even though campus life is not going to be the same as it has in the past.
UMD Is Blind is currently accepting applications for their mini-series. The application can be accessed via their Instagram @UMDisblind. For the Campus Trainer, this is Celia Richardson.